I swear this is the dumbest thing ever. Hold on, we're doing the intro. All right, that's much better. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Packernet After Dark. This is the only call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, 608-501-0718 is the phone number. No idea if anybody happens to be watching, but Aiden and Vinny, big shout out. We would not be doing a show today if it wasn't for my nephew Vinny, who called and was like, hey, I subbed to your channel, so can you go live and give us a shout out? So that's why we're here today. So a little bit impromptu, but we're going to go ahead and do Packernet After Dark. If you want to call in, feel free to do so. Again, the number is right there for you. You can just call in, leave a message. It's not going to be a live thing. It doesn't have to be weird. Don't make it weird. Jared says, thanks, Vinny. So if you're there, Vinny, thank you. Everybody appreciates you. Andrew says, hey, what's going on? Andrew, Caldwell Corner. This isn't a call question, but obviously, but could you please spend an entire episode breaking down how the Packers are better than the Lions going into this year? Yes, I can. I think I have, but I mean, I'll do it again if you want. That's fine. Let's see. Brambo says, hi, too old for this, is in the house as always. What's going on? He says, ahoy. Also says, isn't that a movie, My Cousin Vinny? I'm so happy that my kids have a cousin named Vinny. It's just fantastic. And yes, that is a movie. Unbelievably good movie. Such a good movie. All right. Why don't we stop wasting time? As always, make sure that the audio is working. You guys can hear everything and whatnot. And we'll get started with 1265 fan.
Hey, Ryan. So,
hey,
I've been listening to your last After Dark, and there was a woman that called in regarding Milwaukee season ticket fans.
By the way, this is up just because I feel like having something up. We'll pull something up when it's relevant. I don't know what to put up here, and I don't want it to be just a giant picture of my face. So there we go. Jared, don't mess with me. Sorry, go ahead, 1265 fan.
I'm just going to start this off by saying, can we please stop hating against the same fans of your own team? This is such an old narrative. I don't even think it's true anymore. So if you look at, and really, I want everybody to take a serious look this year, and you tell me that the volume isn't as great as Green Bay fans, and you tell me that there's a lot more of the opposing team in that stadium than when Green Bay fans are there, I'm going to challenge that. Now, Milwaukee fans, yes, they may have to sell tickets more often because of not being able to make it. Thursday night games, Monday night games, work schedules, so on and so forth. But, and I can only talk for myself on this, I have never, ever once in the 25 years that I've owned my tickets, sold my tickets to anybody but a Packers fan. It's hard to do. There is no doubt about it. It's hard to do. If you care about making money, maybe you can make money by selling them to these other companies that then sell them to people. I don't know, because you know why I don't know? Because I always sell to Green Bay Packer fans. So I'm not here to necessarily toot my own horn, but I want people to really pay attention this year. Really pay attention. And let's stop hating against fans of the same team that you root for. Can we just please? It is so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. I really am. Especially when I stand all the time, I'm yelling constantly, trying to teach other fans around me. Come on, man. We are not all like that. And I guarantee you there's Green Bay fans that are. Okay? So let's just stop dividing us and maybe bringing us together. Okay? All right? Okay? Great. By the way, I found a new camp spot. Not as great as the first one I found in the Northwoods, but I did find one, and I actually got to sit on a huge boulder in the middle of a river on my chair and eat my lunch.
Dang.
That was the best ever. Not one person around me. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. Anyway, I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. Not trying to hate on anybody. I love all Packer fans. Love you, Packer fans. Go, Pack, go.
Bro, eating lunch on a boulder just sounds like a dream. Couple things, real quick. Ticket King, lowest ticket prices in town, Wisconsin-based company. If you guys are planning on buying some Green Bay Packers tickets, please be sure to check out Ticket King. Did get some feedback from them just today that apparently somebody had mentioned the podcast. Wasn't sure if it was mine or Clayton's, but it wouldn't hurt, honestly, if you guys, if you are buying tickets, and if, I don't know if they say, leave comments or whatever, but if there's anything, where did you hear from us, make sure you drop in Packernet Podcast, just so they know that they're getting a good return on investment, and we're delivering our promise and whatnot. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Too old for this. Can you make an entire podcast, not episode, whole podcast dedicated to proving to Bears fans that the Bears suck? I think some people would say that is my current podcast. But getting to your thing, I get that you're frustrated that people are, picking on you and whatnot. I do get that, and that must be annoying, especially when you're making more noise than everybody else. Sorry, I can't. It's annoying me that it's doing that, so I can't stop playing with the cord. I got to replace this or something. It's broken. Here's the thing, though. I mean, if the shoe fits, and like I said, I don't know. But it would actually be pretty interesting to kind of go back and say, okay, go back through all the home games, find out which games are the gold package, green package, who gives it's from a movie. Find out which packages for which game and just look at it. Just go through. I mean, you can find, okay, just jump to the fourth quarter, find similar situations and just try to see which one sounds a little bit louder. Beyond that, there's lots of shots of the crowd. If you see tons of green and gold in this situation and not a lot of green and gold in this one, a lot of other rival fan bases, then I'm very sorry. And I fully understand that you don't fit into this camp, but that doesn't really change the overall indictment that things get significantly worse when these people are there instead of those people. And again, I'm not saying that because I don't know. That's what I said on the podcast. Like I don't want to just jump on a bandwagon because it's there, because everybody says it, so I'm going to say it. I have no idea if it's true. But if there are a demographic of people, whether it be Milwaukee people, old people, local people, out-of-state people, friggin' googly-eyed people like Matt Ramage, whatever stereotype it happens to be, I'll make fun of anybody if they're screwing up the team. I agree we shouldn't be dividing the fan base necessarily, but at the same time, if you're screwing with the team and you're like doing the wave when we're on offense or making a bunch of noise when we're on offense and just sitting on your freaking hands when the defense is out there because you just don't feel like doing anything, I'm going to keep making comments about it. So, I mean, on an individual level, it's true either way, regardless of where that person happens to reside on a day-to-day basis. Anyone doing that annoys me, and I will continue to make fun of them. And if that's, come on, stupid microphone, if that happens to be divisive, then I guess it just is. I don't know what to say. I mean, wrong is wrong, so stop doing stupid things, and I'll stop calling you stupid. I don't mean you, 1265 fan. I mean the stupid people who do stupid things. Just don't do it.
Hey, Ryan. 1265 fan here.
Hey.
So I had just called in about the whole Milwaukee season ticket versus Green Bay season ticket thing, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers. I really don't. It's
fine. This is what we do here. We ruffle feathers.
Year after year after year after year after year after year after year. But so there's something I don't know that everybody knows, and I actually just recently found out about this, like a couple of years ago, and literally I've been a season ticket holder for 25 years. So apparently, the Milwaukee season games are not just Milwaukee season ticket holders. There is still a large smattering of Green Bay season ticket holders that get every game, not just the green games, every game. So it is not just Milwaukee season ticket holders. There's also a good group of Green Bay season ticket holders at those games. And I know this because the company I used to work for had the original owner had Green Bay season tickets, and he had every single game. Every game, not just Green Bay games. So anyway, that's how I found out. And no, they don't have a box or anything like that. They have seats, single seats. So, so there's that going on too, which is a very interesting thing to think about with this whole conversation. So I guess that's all I have to say. And if I have anything else, I'll try to call back. Okay, bye-bye.
Threaten me with a good time. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's not just people from Milwaukee that are in the stands. I mean, we're fully aware that it's a very diverse group. And if I had to guess, it's those people that are complaining about you people. I don't know. I don't go to games, so I don't know the whole dynamics of this thing. But it would have to be people that are going there regularly that are noticing things are not as good when it's a gold package game or whatever, right? Oh, all of a sudden, here come all the Bears fans. Here come all the rival fans. Go figure. Here's all the people who don't make any noise. Here, it would have to be, because I couldn't go in there and be like, oh, this is a disgrace. I have nothing to compare it to. I have no idea if this is better or worse than normal. So my assumption is it's the green package people, or however this works, people that have regular tickets that go to like every game, who have made the observation that things get significantly worse. Otherwise, it's just people on TV who are like, oh, I've noticed a pattern here whenever we have these gold package things. Or it's just a vicious, sickening, discriminatory, anti-Milwaukee rumor. Maybe that is it. And that's why I'm not jumping on it, because I don't know. No idea. I don't know. But I mean, interestingly enough, I don't know if there's a way. I don't think they track. I mean, it's not like you sign in what fan base are you when you go there, so there wouldn't be an easy way to do it other than, again, just go back and watch the games. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I'll just do that and do like screenshots and be like, here's gold package with all the purple jerseys, and then here's the very next week, and it's a lot of green and gold. I don't know what to tell you. It's not really my fight. I don't super care, and I know a lot of people have called in, so you're just defending yourself or whatever. That's fine. Again, I don't super care. I just want everyone that's being stupid to stop being stupid. That would be great. And yes, not participating is stupid. Maybe that's the wrong attitude. But if you just want to sit down comfortably and watch a football game, go to a place that has heat and a couch and really cheap food. That's what I do. You know, and when I go, I make noise. But I am like, I'd rather just sit at home and relax. Who wants to go to a game just so you can be a curmudgeon and be like, sit down. You know what? You want a really good vantage point? A large 65-inch flat screen TV 10 inches away from your face. That's how you can see the game really, really good. If you want to go to a game, you're standing up in the frickin' nosebleeds with people jumping and screaming. You can't see anything. You can't. Again, that's not why I don't go. But I don't understand this whole, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to sit there, and I'm going to get all bundled up, and I'm just going to piss and moan at everybody else because you're touching me, and you sit down and be quiet. And go home. What are you doing here? I don't understand what you're doing here.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Joe the janitor.
Joe
from Connecticut.
the janitor.
How's it going, buddy?
From Connecticut. Good.
Well, figured I'd call in, say hi.
Hi.
So, I had a question.
Okay.
Question for you, if you think this is a good idea or not.
Okay.
So, I got a guy that I work with, fellow janitor. Well, he's a janitor. I'm a facilities maintenance guy now.
Dang.
Anyway, fellow coworker, and the guy is a Texans fan, right? A few months back, I found out that obviously Texans haven't been around his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I found out that he was previously a Bears fan, and
I told you.
and the Bears are still his second
favorite team.
So at least I got a good roasting for this guy, as the season.
By the way, if you didn't know, my definition, I have a definition for Bears fans. It exists, and it's real. A Bears fan is a person who hates the Green Bay Packers, and their second favorite team is the Bears. That has been my running definition forever, and it is very true.
And goes along. Now, he's pretty confident, and he's down to, put up some pretty big bucks to prove his point. But he thinks that the Bears, not only that we're going to get beat by the Texans, but the Bears are going to sweep us this year. And he's willing to bet $100 that happens.
Wait.
And I mean,
he's going to bet $100 on both of those things, meaning if the Packers win one of 3 games, I don't even care. It doesn't even have to be the Bears. You could say Texans, 49ers, and what's the next, Miami or something. The odds that they lose all 3, just statistically, I mean, even if it was a bad team, the odds are not in your favor of going 0-3. That's stupid. That's stupid. I mean, take it. Just take it. The Packers could suck and still end up winning one of those. Whatever.
Odds are pretty good that's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure I should put up $100 on it.
Yes. Make it 500.
But something in me really just wants to not even bet any money and then get to rub it in even harder when it happens.
Taking his
Steve
money
would
and
owe
rubbing
me
it pretty
$100.
hard.
I didn't even want your $100. That kind of thing.
Sure.
So I don't know. You think it's a good idea or no? All right, and one other thing I wanted to touch on.
I mean, just from a statistical standpoint, it's not even like the Packers are definitely better than the Bears thing. Just statistically, I can't even get out of my head how stupid it is that somebody would make a $100 bet based on 3 games. If I get all 3 games right, I get $100. If I don't get all 3 games right, you get $100. Okay, I don't even care what the games are. I'll make that bet 9 times out of 10. You don't even have to tell me what the games are. Your coworker is an idiot.
It's been a big topic.
And they deserve to have their money taken from them. I mean, it's a stupid tax.
Discussion lately, so I have given a little of my 2 cents, but I did see a crazy movie this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day, everyone, by the way. But yeah, yesterday I watched a new movie with Jennifer Lopez called Atlas, and it's about AI, robots.
Sure. Heard it was bad, but
fixing their code themselves or some shit, and taking over the world. So yeah, I think it's a good watch.
Frickin' Joe.
Pretty scary that I know it's only a movie, but worst case scenario, that can really happen. Is it possible that could really happen? I don't even know. It's kind of like if aliens are real or not. Who knows? Maybe AI is aliens. I don't know. All I know is
AI is aliens,
I'm kind of scared about artificial intelligence, for sure. And I realize it's the future. I do just want to say fuck AI. Shalom.
Bro, you can't be swearing. Joe, you're going to get banned, all right? I can't be cutting these things out live. Stupid, sweary people. So, I heard about Jennifer Lopez acting in a movie. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I saw it, I think, on Netflix, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch that. I heard Jennifer Lopez was pretty bad in it, and I watched, when you hover over it, it'll play a little couple seconds of it, and she didn't even have a line. She just walked in and did something, and I'm like, this is going to be bad. She's not going to be very good. I mean, I did like her in, was she in Selena? Was that her? I like that movie, Selena. But anyway, it just kind of made me be like, I'll pass, and I watch something else. But if you guys endorse it, jump in the comment section if you've seen it, and let me know if it's good. I will watch it. But the year is 2043. Humanoid artificial intelligence terrorist Harlan leads a war of machines against humans. Leaves 3 million people dead. It's not that many. Military force of the new international coalition of nations has a string of victories against Harlan and gets him to flee into outer space. Sounds kind of dope. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. All right. Randy, watch your mouth.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey,
it's Randy from Minnesota.
How you doing?
I was listening to the podcast.
Oh, crappy. That's my bad. Sorry, I'm clicking stuff.
Podcast about how the next great quarterback, Caleb, is having problems completing passes in his shorts.
A little bit.
And at half speed.
Yeah.
that's not really the issue I saw. What I saw is, unlike Green Bay that had basically 100% participation in OTAs, Bears can't seem to get everyone there. And they're basically, with a new quarterback, which none of us played with this guy before, and they don't seem to be very interested in showing up and getting the system down with him. I think that's going to be more telling in the future than the fact he had a couple bad days at OTA. It's going to take a while.
That's true. And
the other thing, I was listening to the podcast about the being at Lambeau, it's gotten to the point where we go to the indoor seating anymore. I don't know how many times I got people standing up in front of me. There's no reason to be standing up. Or the Packers are on offense, and they're yelling their lungs out. I'm like, God, would you please be quiet?
Right.
Can we maybe get a play in? Sometimes it's just crazy how people are doing this whole fandom thing up at Lambeau. I didn't pay the money to see the games and stare at the back of somebody's head the entire day or in their back because they're standing up for no reason. I stand up when something big happens, but not nonstop. Anyway, that's just me. Love the show. Go Pack Go. Bite.
Yeah, we got to have maybe we need to have team leaders in each section to just kind of be like, let's work on the rules here. And there's standard rules, which is you do not cheer when the Packers are on offense, and you do not stop cheering when the Packers are on defense. That's standard. But as far as sitting, standing, what do you call it? Whatever the rules that we're going to come up with on our own, we'll work that out ourselves. It's not as important, I guess. I know that I tried to stand when I went to a Packer game before, and I got yelled at to sit down. It's like, are you serious? Why are we sitting? It's like when you go to a concert, you don't sit. It's not a thing unless it's a Yes concert. Then you sit the whole time. But I mean, you just stand. It's what you do. I mean, you look at other stadiums, people are standing. That's just in Green Bay. It's like you're at the opera or something. Shh, sit down. Shh, be quiet. Like you're watching freaking ballet or something. I don't know. Garrett, what's going on?
Hey, Ryan. It's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Garrett, I'm going to interrupt you there. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and see what Garrett's all about.
I'll be back. I'm back. So I've been gone away for vacation to California. And it was a good visit. We had a good time in Yosemite and drove down Pacific Coast Highway. And while we were in Yosemite, we ran into some guys that were locals getting ready to go up the same trail as we were. And it was graded out as a pretty brutal trail. And so my wife and I were just asking them some questions, what to expect and everything, since they've done it before. And one of the guys was wearing a 49ers hat. And me and him started up a conversation, and turns out we had a lot in common. We basically graduated from high school about the same generation, 87, 88, 89. And
You graduated from high school in 89? I thought we were about the same age, Garrett. I was way off on that one.
Special investigator for San Francisco police, and I'm a sheriff's deputy part-time. And so we had a lot in common talking about stuff. And I have to admit, I never had the urge to push him off the sheer cliff that we were walking on at any time. I had a good time talking to him. I think if I went to San Francisco's game, I'd look this guy up to probably go to the game with him. So not all 49er fans are bad. So have to say that. Have to go on the record.
That's good.
California, it's real beautiful. The weather's great. But $7 a gallon for gas, I don't think so. $300 a night for a hotel room, I don't think so. So has its good and has its bad. But so I've missed a lot the last week and a half since I've been gone, and I just don't recognize this podcast right now. Good grief. It feels like Derailed has nothing on, you have nothing on Derailed. This is just crazy, the topics that are going sideways, Ryan. Crazy.
Good times.
So, man, I hope we have some more good news out of camp and OTAs and stuff to talk about. And because, oh my goodness, Ryan, this is just some of the topics, man. I can't follow it. I can't follow it, to be honest. It's unbelievable. It's entertaining, but holy cow, man. Let's get some more talk about Jordan Love's hairdo or something. Come on. Just Garrett from Southern Illinois, I'm out.
Or, Garrett, we could talk about trips to California.
Okay, California trip part 2, real quick. Something that was kind of not funny at the time, but you know how things are terrible in the moment, but when you look back, you kind of have to just laugh at it. Along the drive to San Francisco, my wife spilled some coffee in my lap. While she was reaching for the map, she dropped her coffee.
Sucks.
That was unfortunate. So the rest of the trip went pretty smooth. We didn't have any problems navigating through any of the places that we went. And we're getting on the plane to go to Phoenix before heading back to St. Louis. And we're in mid-flight, and they're bringing drinks around and stuff. And you know that scene in Wedding Singer where Drew Barrymore is sitting in the aisle seat and the stewardess is pushing the cart and wham! Hits her in the elbow. Okay, just imagine that 10 times worse, where the waitress hit the back of my seat with a huge, huge cooler that she was trying to carry. My wife says she felt it, and she was 2 seats over. Needless to say, the waitress was apologizing for the rest of the time there, and to make up for it, she's handing a hot coffee over my lap to my wife, and along with that coffee, she had a little Bailey's Irish cream to make up for what had happened, I guess. Well, my wife has the hands of MVS. It'll hit her in the hands, but there's no guarantee that they're going to stay in her hands. And sure enough, the coffee ended up all over my knee. And if it was the McDonald's lady that got millions of dollars from McDonald's for having coffee spilled in her lap, I should probably be seeing 10 or 20 million in mine. But I'm not that kind of person to do that. I'm not vindictive. But that was the icing on the cake. My wife laughed so hard for the next 30 minutes of the flight, and the waitress kept bringing more cookies, and there was nothing that was going to make up for that experience. So so just got to laugh in the moment, guys, and just move on. I'm out.
Check out this underthrown garbage pass by Caleb Williams. The Bears actually posted this. Look at this. No pressure, all day, easy pass, and wide receiver. Oops, slow down. Come back for it. There you go. Yeah, that would have been picked in a real NFL game. Yeah. So good. So excited. Everyone's happy. We're celebrating. We're dancing. Yay. I was going to say, at least you're good at dancing, but I don't know what that garbage was all about. Look at this. Ew. Stop. Uncle Rico, give me something, man.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
What's up, man?
Hey, I was just listening to the pod, and you're talking about teams overvaluing, and especially when they're making trades and giving way too much to move up. And I agree for the most part that some teams can get real dumb, especially some of the crazy trades that have happened in history. You know, like the Herschel Walker trade or some insanity like that. I don't pay a lot of attention, so I know that. But yeah, usually it's wild, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to me what they're doing. But I guess a guy has to keep in mind that if a person wants, team wants to move up, they may have to overpay. Or what's the incentive of the team that's holding the cards? What's the incentive of them to move down if they're not going to get overpaid, right? So that's part of it, I think. And maybe you get that far. I never listen to the whole podcast before I get excited and start calling because I miss you so much. Love you, man. Rico out. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they always think it's worth it, but that's the whole thing. It's overvaluing the belief you have in yourself to scout, and undervaluing the variability in the whole scouting and drafting process. And in the long run, if you continually trade up for what you think is good value, you're going to miss more than you hit. You're going to end up losing value overall. And if you trade back, you're going to end up gaining value overall. It doesn't mean on individual trades you're going to lose. If you trade up and get a quarterback and it's a hit, obviously it really doesn't matter what the compensation is. You made a good trade. But the part is the point is in the grand scheme of things. Take the last 100 trades or whatever. Overpaying to move up, moving up in general, but overpaying to move up. More often than not, you're wrong, I think is the larger point. You're wrong when you say that, we have to do it. No, you don't. You just think you do because you think you know how good this person is. But you're wrong, and they're not as good as you think, and it's a bad decision, and you should just either stay or do something else. All right, let's take our final break. We got a bunch more Garrett. I'm hoping Garrett has something else. No offense, Garrett. I appreciate you, but I don't really know how to engage with spilling coffee stuff. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a little bit.
Hey, Ryan, it's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
What up?
I know I call in with suggestions on a lot of things, a lot of ideas. Some of them are really good, and some of them you take them or leave them.
Sure.
But, a few weeks back I had told you need to conglomerate all your AI songs onto one podcast so we can just go back and listen to them just whenever we want. And I think that would benefit you a lot in your numbers as far as downloads if you did that. So I know that you probably already thought of that.
It would be better for downloads is if I didn't make it one big one. If I did it individually, that would be the better way to do it because, I'm just saying.
But I'm just throwing it out there. It's like, hey, you got to conglomerate all of them so we can go find them and listen to them instead of searching for them, because it's kind of like getting a box of Cracker Jacks and eating all the popcorn and then finding the prize at the very bottom. You just don't know what you're going to get. And it's kind of like with your podcast. You don't know what kind of song is waiting for you at the end. But if they're all on one podcast, dude, I mean, I would, like I said before, I would go back and listen to some of these and do workouts to them.
There you go.
But anyways, I had messaged you also probably a week and a half ago before I went on vacation that you need to do an AI updated version of the Bears Still Suck song. And I have another idea to go along with that to make it even better.
Off the top here.
I think you should do it with the style of the Blues Brothers.
Style? Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
What is more iconic for Chicago than the Blues Brothers? So have them singing The Bears Still Suck in their style of music, bluesy, harmonica, guitar. I think it would be absolutely epic. So you've got to try it, dude. You have to try that. You have to do it. Have to do it. Okay, this is Garrett, and I'm out.
All right, I'm still working on typing out the prompt here. So let's get to Garrett number 2, and then we'll figure out what kind of a song we can get. I mean, the interesting part is partially going to be in the music, which we're not going to have today. Possibly for this Packernet After Dark tonight, if I can get it, we'll see. Shut up, cord that's broken, you piece of garbage. Big, thick cord. I mean, this thing is freaking massive, and it's being a little baby. Look at this. You freaking idiot. But we'll see what kind of lyrics it can come up with. But in the meantime, Garrett, why don't you serenade us, and I'll keep working on this.
And you could play these songs every time the Bears lose. Not just to the Packers, but just when they lose on social media. I mean, talking about rubbing salt in a wound. I'm just saying.
All right, let's just go with that prompt for now. Yeah, I got you. Garrett, number 3.
Okay, and I'll do you one better.
All right, let's do it.
If you were looking for a video to go with the song, all you need to do for The Bears Still Suck is just put up every single face of every single quarterback that has sucked.
Yes. That's a good idea.
I don't know, since the 70s. Just flash up every single one of the starters that has ever started for Chicago. Even since just Jim McMahon. Just play every single quarterback, flash one to another since 1985.
Just reading the chorus. It's so bad, it's kind of funny. Because, I mean, it's really just a chorus, right? I'm trying to think how the song goes. No, I guess it's not true. Let's see what we got here. Well, the Bears still suck. That much is true. Year after year, they're a mess through and through. They might win a few, but then they fall apart, breaking their fans' poor football-loving hearts. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. No matter how much we pray, no matter our luck, the Bears always find a new way to suck. From Soldier Field to Old Wrigley Field's grass, the Bears bumble around like a team. That's dumb. You always got to go in and edit a little bit. They get lazy with some of the rhymes sometimes. It's like we come up with a sentence and it's like, what rhymes with that? They've got the swagger, but none of the game. Seasons of shame after season of shame. The bridge, maybe next year will be the one when the Bears stun everyone. Swagger turns to Super Bowl rings. So I think it gets confused sometimes. It's like, you can do it. Like, no. This isn't like a revive. This isn't one of those kinds of deals. Let's see. In the Windy City where the fans can't cope, they dream of Super Bowls, but it's just false hope. They got a dream with no steam, and a days they roam. The Bears still suck. It's their permanent home. This is ChatGPT. The other one was a little different. Chorus is, oh, the Bears still suck. They can't deny. They fumble and they bumble under that Chicago sky. They huff and puff, but can't touch the sky. You can't rhyme sky with sky. The Bears still suck, and we all know why. They got a quarterback carousel and never-ending spin. They search for a savior, but they just can't win. Defense was their glory, but that's long gone. Their best plays now are the ones they pawn. See what I mean? It's like, yeah, it doesn't really work. Chorus again, and then they're a broken record, a tired old tune, a franchise stuck in a perpetual June. Oh, they can that is so good, a franchise stuck in a perpetual June. They can shuffle, they can hustle, but they still lack grace. In this NFL race, they're losing their place. They got the history, but their presence a curse. Each season they play, it just gets worse. They draft and they trade, but it's all in vain. The Bears still suck. It's the same old refrain. Chorus again, and then the outro is, so here's to the Packers, to the green and gold, to the Lambos legends, brave and bold. The Bears still suck. It's the tale they're stuck forever in the shadow of Green Bay's luck. That one was better. I have called in with a ukulele song in a while. Time to spam. A ukulele song was dope, man. You should call back in with a ukulele song. I got to find that other one you did. I really like that. We did a second break already, right? So let's keep rolling here. Let's see what Aaron's all about.
Hey, Ryan, this is Aaron. Hopefully this is coming through all right.
Not really.
Kind of on my AirPods, just finishing up a run. And it just was storming, and now it's kind of just a little drizzly. So hopefully it comes through all right. But anyways, sorry. I was listening to Packernet After Dark, and Uncle Rico called in about Anthony Johnson Jr., and I just have a couple things to say about that. But my first thing to say about that is, coming from someone who, like, if he would have been put in the fourth quarter and they would have won state, like, back in the day, and, like, coming from someone who could throw a pigskin a quarter mile, and if you're near some mountains, he could probably launch the football over the mountains. I'd take his word for it. But, no, thinking about Anthony Johnson Jr., and I just think it's crazy, right? Because during that draft, there was Anthony Johnson Jr., and Anthony Johnson was I believe, was he a quarterback that got drafted earlier by a different team, right? And so then eventually, I forget what round we took Junior, but
eventually we drafted Anthony Johnson Jr. And people were scrambling to figure out which one we got and which one was who and whatever. And I think Jake Schwenk was like, oh yeah, I think that's the Anthony Johnson I wanted, right? And in the end, we got both of them. And after whatever period of time. So, as it turns out, Anthony Johnson wasn't that great, and he was the one that was drafted way before and everyone really wanted. But Anthony Johnson Jr., the safety we drafted, he's still on the team. And if, as Rico was talking about, if he can beat out these other safeties, like, that's a good thing, because that means that he rose up to the occasion. And that's not even saying anything bad about Home Depot, and Evan Williams.
Well, it might be saying something bad about
and,
them.
Who's our other guy? Javon Bullard. But it's just like, if we can have one guy that we're not really expecting much from rise to the occasion, like, wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, that's just me, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of hit a quick cool down after my run.
Yeah,
Trying to get back in the Air Force, but apparently, even though I can beat all their fitness standards by miles, I'm too fat. Anyways, go Pack.
Oh man, that's what I need in my life. Somebody who just got off a friggin' 5-mile run calling themselves fat. You know what? Aaron? Shut up. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough road for Anthony Johnson. He's going to have to be really good because the Packers basically said, nah, this ain't working, drafted 3 safeties to fill 1 spot. And Bullard has basically got that job on lock. I mean, even if he's not very good, they're going to give him time. They're going to throw him out there and be like, he'll figure it out. And it's, So, I mean, Bullard would have to be terrible and Anthony Johnson would have to be great. And if you looked at what I pulled up a minute ago here, let's go back a couple times. The defensive grades, he was the lowest graded guy that actually started on the entire defense. Zane Anderson was lower than him, but he played, 2 games, played 14 snaps. He was below Stokes, who came in ice cold after being out for I don't know how long. Week 15 he comes in. By week 16 he's already playing a little bit better. It just was not very good for Anthony Johnson. And as much as you could, if under different circumstances we didn't draft 3 safeties, one of whom was a 2nd-round pick that's almost guaranteed to get the job, it's worth maybe looking at and going, I don't know, maybe he can get it. Hopefully he takes a step and can be a little bit better. But even then, I'm looking at it going, I don't know what his ceiling could actually realistically be. But I just, maybe I'm being completely unfair. I don't know that it's worth even talking about. I'm hopeful for Anthony Johnson's sake that he provides some pretty quality depth. If we carry 4 or 5 safeties, I mean, he should be there, I would hope. But the odds, even if we had 3 safeties of him being out there, I would say are relatively low, would be my thought.
Hey Ryan, this is Aaron. I'm back in my car now, so hopefully that call that I just made came in all right.
Yeah, we got it. Figured it out.
I really never know when
Never know what she's doing back
on my AirPod froze. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyways,
sometimes you feel like a nut.
I was just out there for a kind of quick, 6.5, 7 mile run. I'm not exactly sure exactly how much. But yeah, so it's kind of stupid because, like I said, I'm trying to get back into the Air Force. I was in for 8 years, and apparently, even though I was in for 8 years, I can still max out all their fitness stuff. Yeah. Apparently, I need to be, as a 31-year-old, in the same exact weight class as all the youngins. Sure. So some 18-year-old coming in originally. And so, which is all right. I mean, I can get down to that, but like most adults, I spent a little too much time sipping on some beers and eating some pizza.
I understand.
And that's not good when you're trying to maintain weight.
Beer's rough.
But anyways, sorry, I completely forgot the point that I was going to call back for. But anyways, yeah, so we got OTAs. I'll try to think of something really quick. So we got OTAs coming back up, and I've seen plenty of people on social media, right? Mainly Instagram. I have a Twitter, but never really use it. But so I see people saying, "Oh yeah, Caleb Williams is gonna be like up in the MVP conversation. Jordan Love's gonna massively regress." And I'm just sitting there like watching all the stuff that's happening at these OTAs between the two teams and all the reports that we're getting, and I'm just like, what world are you living in, Bears fans? Or and some of it's the national media people, and I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, are we watching the same teams? Because there's every reason to believe that Jordan Love is going to build upon what he started doing last year. Like, it's not like he just had a good couple games at the end of the season. It's like, no, dude, from week 9 on, he was, if you extend it over the period of the season, that's lights out MVP right there. And it's just, and then you have Caleb Williams going to the Bears. It's like, sure, he's got a couple of receivers who have been good in the past and whatever. And now he's got not Romeo Dobbs. He's got Roma Dunze. And like, sure, great. But it's still the Bears. Go Pack, go. Peace out. 3 minutes is up, I believe. Right, coming now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, if we look at the Bears, again, it's not super hard if you wanted to get all hyped up about it to find a path for them to be good, right? Obviously, this needs to be very positive. And then it's boom, boom, boom. These are the three. This is what you're excited about. Swift is not very good. Kmet is eh. The offensive line, not great. Johnson is going to regress. This is fake. Look at what he did for 3 years, right? He's not going to be the number one corner in football. Not to say he's going to be bad, but this is going to come down. And then you've got nothing here. Byard is a replacement for a guy you just got rid of, and he's 31 years old, so that's a short-term replacement. That was stupid. Brisker is just not very good. You got Sweat, who you had to go out and pay for because you don't know how to actually draft talent. By the way, look at the guys that are good. He's good. He was not drafted. They had to pay for this guy. They had to pay for this guy. They had to go out and pay for this guy. They had to go out and pay for this guy. They had to go out and pay for this guy, right? They had to go out and pay for this guy, even though he's still not very good. I mean, aside from Johnson and Kmet, who have they drafted that doesn't suck? Do you know how to draft anybody? I mean, good Lord. I mean, this guy you went out and paid, and he's not even good. The dude sucks. But it's like, my goodness, I would be worried if I was a Bears fan, not only because of our track record with quarterbacks, but what a terrible track record of drafting. The heck are you doing? You go out and get Darnell Wright. Oh, that was a good one. He's friggin' killing it out there. So, I mean, yeah, okay. So the quarterback's going to be great, and Swift is going to be elite, and you got Kmet and Odunze and Moore and Allen. It's going to be the best wide receiver group in football, and Johnson's still a top guy, and Sweat is decent, and, you know, so we're going to be real good. Like, okay, maybe. I don't know. Might be. Probably not, but sure. I don't want to keep fighting it because maybe it could be a thing. And it's like, let's get specific. What are we talking about? You say 10 wins. I mean, it's not out of the it's not completely psychotic if you tell me Williams is a good quarterback. It makes some good sense. You know, I mean, what are we going to say? 7? No. 8, 9. I mean, it's not that big of a stretch to get to 10. It's a high end. Don't get me wrong, and I'm certainly not predicting 10. But I'm not going to get into a friggin' verbal fist fight over it. You know, obviously you get somebody saying stupid stuff like 13, 14, then it's a problem. But look, we'll see. It all comes down to this guy right here. This is what it comes down to. If he pulls the CJ Stroud, then he's just going to drag this team, and there's nothing we can do about it. If he's not very good, this team's going to suck, and there's nothing they can do about it. But again, even if, I mean, they don't have a strategy for success. Like, what are you going to do? You can't draft. You suck. You don't have any picks. You keep giving them away because you got to keep paying other teams with draft picks and everything else to go out and get guys because you don't know how to do it. Like, you drafted a safety right here. You had to get rid of him because you overpaid him because he sucked. But you thought he was good, even though, because he did this. He was bad, elite. This is where he got paid, which same thing you did with Jalen Johnson. Then he went back to being bad again. And it's like, we can't afford to pay him. I mean, we can, but we don't want to because we don't want to overpay him. So you cut him. Then you go out and get a 31-year-old to play safety because you're stupid. You drafted this guy and he sucks. Like, you drafted this guy and he sucks. Like, you got those two interior guys last year. They both sucked. Walker, who you also went out and acquired, who's not very good. You got Tyreek Stevenson, who sucks. Like, you guys are bad. You're just bad, dude. You're bad at this. You had to go out and pay him because you thought it'd be good, and he's not. And I told you he wasn't going to be good, but you didn't listen. He's not very good. Tevin Jenkins, I mean, that was decent when you finally swung him over here to the guard spot. He's okay. Braxton Jones, I mean, that's like the one impressive pick because he's a fifth rounder and he's actually playing tackle, but he already regressed from last year. So, we'll see how that pans out. Anyways, you guys get me started on the Bears and I get all riled up. I was trying to defend the Bears, against your attacks, Aaron, and then I just got annoyed. All right, should we be done? I think we should be done. I tell you what, I mentioned this on tomorrow's podcast. We're going to be taking a vacation. So let's see. Tomorrow is my last day here, but I might be able to record a podcast Sunday too. I don't know. But what would be great to make sure that we have podcasts is to call in. Call in. The phone number here is 608-501-0718 because easy enough, I can record, like try to crank out a bunch of these as opposed to the amount of work it takes to do like a normal podcast, just so I could try to maybe if I did 2 a day over the next, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, maybe I can spread it out until I get back. I think, I never remember the schedule. So we're going Sunday, coming back Wednesday, Thursday, something like this in here. I don't exactly know. So I don't know if I'm going to be cranking out podcasts or not. As I mentioned, I only have a little Google Chrome laptop thing because the other one's gone. So I don't know if I'll be able to. I will try. I will do my best, but I may be incommunicado for a handful of days here. So just a thought. You spam me with a bunch of calls, 608-501-0718 over the next 24 hours or so, and I'll see if I can get some stuff out there and maybe just do like emergency podcasts if something crazy happens. So anyways, folks, again, check out Ticket King, lowest ticket prices, Wisconsin based. I got offices in Green Bay and Milwaukee. I'll be talking to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.